How I brainwashed myself to become the CEO of an 8-figure company at 26. Have you ever found yourself staring at your life and feeling miles away from your dreams? I remember being 19 and being confused about where my life was going, full of doubts, full of frustration, feeling like I was stuck in a never-ending cycle of anxiety and disappointment. So many people experience the same feeling of being trapped in a situation and struggling to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And if you can relate, then watch this video to the end. When I was 20, I left my small town in New Zealand with nothing but hope and a vision, heading to New York, chasing my dreams. Knowing what you want to do in life at such a young age is so difficult. All I knew was that I wanted more. I faced immense challenges and self-doubt was always lurking. But here's what I discovered. The key to my transformation wasn't in avoiding these emotions, but in harnessing them. I knew I wanted to be the CEO of a company because I read Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg, and she identified that only 4% of C-suite roles are filled by females. By focusing on my goals and blocking out that noise of self-doubt and fear, I was able to find clarity. With my dream in mind, I figured out a way to put myself in all the right places. I eventually moved to Australia, and at 26, I became the CEO of a 7-figure agency in Melbourne. It wasn't about escaping negativity, but it was about using that as a driving force. The struggles and the setbacks became things that fueled my journey. So if you're facing those tough moments, remember, they are not barriers. They are just stepping stones to your success. In this video, I'll reveal how I brainwashed myself using mindset shifts and strategies that anyone can do. And that was what turned my dreams into a reality. So this is me now, but let's rewind. This was me 10 years ago. I was nervous, young, immature, confused about my direction in life. I wanted success, but I couldn't see how to get there. I have ADHD, so this was another hurdle that I had to overcome. I couldn't concentrate for more than an hour in a row, so sometimes it's quite hard to stay on task. So how did I get from there to here and not become a workaholic, still have plenty of time for friends, family, time to walk Penny, my dog, and time to play with Piper, my daughter? It wasn't a magic trick or an expensive course. It wasn't a family-owned business or luck either. It was me showing up every single day to build a series of easy habits that anyone, including you, can implement. I've broken them down into 3 tactics that you can copy today. Master these 3 and you'll be able to take control of your future. The first technique that I adopted was visualization. I wasn't where I wanted to be, so I needed to brainwash myself into acting like I was. Every single day, without fail, I would start my morning like I thought someone who was leading a large company would. Someone that had people relying on them. Truth be told, at this point, my cat was probably the only person that was actually relying on me. To understand how I should act, I read a lot of books about people who had experienced success. I wanted to know how they lived. What did they do? What did they eat? How did they think? If they got up at 5 a.m., I wanted to get up at 5 a.m., or at least try it. If they were vegan, I wanted to be vegan. That one only lasted about 6 months. But I was living and breathing the fake it till you make it mentality. And when I truly believed that I was going to be the CEO of a big company, it became part of my identity. If I didn't do it, then I wasn't being true to the new me that I'd created in the mirror. There are so many books that can help this mentality. We've got Stephen Bartlett's Diary of a CEO, Dare to Lead by Brené Brown, Atomic Habits, Traction, Becoming, Bossy Pants, 5 a.m. Club, and so many more. Visualization is such a powerful tool. I imagined myself standing in front of a company and giving presentations, imagined myself leading and guiding a team. And if I hadn't imagined that, I can guarantee you that these videos would never have been created. I wasn't sitting there wearing rose-colored glasses though. I know the hard challenges that CEOs faced, or at least I thought I did. I also visualized the challenges that I would face and the amazing feeling of overcoming those challenges. Reading all those books prepared me for that as well. Not one book I read shows a perfect linear journey to success. So why should I expect mine to follow the same? This mental, let's call it rehearsal, made my dreams actually feel real, like they were within reach. The more I visualized, the more I believed that I could turn those visions into a reality. I know that some of you will jump in the comments and call this a little woo-woo, which it is, but it really just comes down to this. If I didn't 100% fully, wholeheartedly believe that I was going to be the CEO of a company, then there was no way in hell that was going to happen. So fake it till you make it. Act like the version of yourself that you want to be. All right, action number 2. Be careful about what you say yes to and also what you say no to. Don't be a yes person, but also don't be a no person either. In respect to point number 1, say yes to the things that align with your goals and your vision, and say no to the things that don't. It's that simple. This also expands to the people in your life as well. I sought out people who believed in me and who shared my vision. People who I knew would challenge me, inspire me, and also hold me accountable. Honestly, that's the easy part. The hard part was, and it probably still is, removing the negativity. We all have friends or acquaintances who are negative Nancy's. The ones who just don't get it and don't have that same big picture thinking. In Australia, we have tall poppy syndrome. So how do I say yes to the right things and no to the rest? How do you know? When you're presented with something, challenge yourself to think, is this going to get me closer to my vision? Is it going to expand the way that I think? Will it challenge me in the process? Typically, I know if something's going to point me in the right direction. The thing that I struggled with was saying yes to the things that I knew I should do, but were going to be really difficult on the way. Something like starting a business in the weekends. It's hard. I know that I'm going to have to say no to social activities, but whether that succeeds or fails, I will learn and I will grow, and that will bring me closer to my goals. I made a conscious choice to curate my environment so that it reflected the success that I wanted to achieve. It's like they say, you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So make sure that those 5 people are lifting you up and not holding you back. And time for number 3. This approach was all around focusing on routine and discipline and creating a really strong foundation. I've built a daily routine that keeps me focused, grounded, and moving forward, even when things get tough. Thank you, Habits, for this. That was a great read. This routine changed and adapted over time, like when I got Penny, my dog, or when my daughter Piper was born. But it almost always involved a combination of these 3 things. First, some form of exercise. Second, organizing my day ahead and setting goals. And third, dedicating some time to learning something new. Whether that's reading 10 pages of a book or listening to a podcast on a walk, or calling someone I admire and asking them questions. These routines became the backbone of my success. To feel positive and like the day had been a success, I know that I need to work out, I know that I need to feel that sense of accomplishment, and I know that I need to learn something new. These 3 things could be very different for you. When I had Piper, I added in spending valuable and dedicated time with Piper. No phones, no distractions, just dedicated time to spend with her. Usually I can do this from 7 to 8 a.m. in the morning or 5:30 to 6:30 when I get home from work through the week. One thing that I keep in mind is that discipline isn't about being rigid. It's about creating a structure that allows you to thrive and succeed. It's about showing up every single day, even when you don't like it, because you know that consistency is the key to achieving your goals. If you're not sure where to start, you can use a framework like this and change what you need. So in this one, you have 3 time blocks, and you can be inserting one of those areas in each of those blocks. One of the things that I like to do is ensure that I don't check my phone beforehand so that I can make sure I don't get any distractions. But it's not like I just did these things and then became the CEO of a 7-figure agency at 26. My journey was full of setbacks. There were plenty of times where things did not go as planned. I led projects that failed. I had deals that fell through and decisions that in hindsight were mistakes. And there were moments where I seriously doubted if I was cut out for this, if I was capable of leading a company, let alone a successful one. But here's the thing, I didn't let those failures define me. Instead, I saw them as lessons, as opportunities to learn and grow. Every time I failed, I asked myself, what can I learn from this? How can I do better next time? And that mindset, seeing failure not as an endpoint but as a stepping stone, was so crucial to my growth. Imposter syndrome is a real thing, and I didn't think I had it until I listened to a podcast on it and then thought, wow, okay, that's me. But identifying issues or challenges is the best part. Then you can make a plan around it. It's so easy to get discouraged when things don't go your way, but I learned to try and reframe those moments. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? I started to ask, what is this trying to teach me? It's that shift in perspective that was a game changer. Staying motivated through tough times wasn't easy either, especially when setbacks piled up and then the self-doubt starts to creep back in. And then every now and then, my ADHD didn't allow me the time to focus on things that I needed to. Disclaimer, I actually think that my ADHD is my superpower, but that's for another video. But I found ways to keep going through these challenges. I leaned on my support system, my mentors, my friends, my family. I celebrated the small wins, even when they seemed insignificant, because those small wins was proof that I was making progress. And I always kept my vision at the center, because when you know where you're going, it's easy to push through the hard days. And no matter how tough it gets, if you have that end goal in sight, that's what keeps you moving forward. You could say that by the time I got to the CEO role at 26, that was the end of the story. But actually, that was just the first chapter. Becoming the CEO was a milestone, but staying the CEO required constant growth and evolution. I didn't stop learning because I'd reached my goal. In fact, I doubled down on it. I continued to upskill. I attended more seminars. I learned more from my mentors, and I kept staying ahead of industry trends by following my daily structure of learning, progressing, and spending time on my mental clarity, which for me is working out or doing a Pilates class. The business world is always evolving, and to stay on top, you have to evolve with it. That's how I not only achieved my dream, but I sustained it. Lifelong learning isn't just a nice to have. It's an essential to staying relevant and effective as a leader. The day I stop focusing on having a positive environment and let the negative influences back in, that's the day that I will lose it all. So I work every day to never get to that point. So that's how I brainwashed myself to become the CEO of a 7-figure company by the time I was 26. It was not about being perfect. It was about being consistent, using challenges as stepping stones and believing in my ability to create the life that I wanted. The strategies that I shared are not unique to me. They're tools that anyone can use to turn their dreams into a reality. So if you found this video helpful, please give it a like and share it with someone who needs to hear this. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more insights on achieving your goals and just living your best life. Remember, the journey to success is as much about your mindset as it is about your actions. Until next time, keep pushing forward and know that obstacles are just opportunities in disguise.